My son Adam was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 13. It's not preventable, and there is no cure. Living with type 1 means injecting insulin several times a day to stay alive. Without insulin, a person with type 1 can die within days or even hours. Not taking enough leads to high blood sugars and serious and painful health complications. We always struggled to afford the ever-rising price of insulin. We paid over $1,000 per month just to afford it and vital supplies.
But why is insulin so expensive? Three main companies dominate over 90% of the global insulin market. They leave little room for competition and actively push new players out of the market. These big three have been accused of price fixing. The cost of insulin has increased over 1,200% since 1996. Believe it or not, those are two different lines. There are huge inconsistencies in the cost of insulin around the world. This indicates that companies will charge whatever price a country's health system will allow. Originally, the patent for insulin was sold for $1 in 1923 by its discoverers, who wanted it to be available to all. Since then, pharmaceutical companies have been making small changes to extend patents and keep prices high for decades. The USA's healthcare system is complex. All parties are to blame, but they avoid accountability by blaming each other. It's important to note that insulin manufacturers are at the top of the chain. They profit the most. They set the list price, and they have the power to reduce it at any moment. Why hasn't anything changed? Many medical practitioners, key opinion leaders, and patient advocacy organizations have accepted huge sums of money from insulin manufacturers. This keeps them from taking real action and putting patients first, because no one wants to bite the hand that feeds them. Ultimately, this results in profits being put before people who are left to suffer with an ever-increasing financial burden just to stay alive.
Despite having a full-time job, Adam was caught in a deadly situation. His employer didn't offer insurance, and the best plan we could find had a $450 premium and a $7,600 deductible. His supplies cost almost $1,300 a month. Less than a month after my son's insurance coverage ended under my policy, I got the phone call that no parent wants to get. My son had died. He rationed his insulin in a desperate attempt to make it last and went into a coma as a result. It shouldn't have happened.
Rationing insulin has sadly become more and more common.
I'm a hardworking person, but insurance premiums and deductibles are still staggering. This has led me to drastic measures, such as not eating, using expired insulin, creating GoFundMe pages, and traveling abroad to buy the same insulin for a fraction of the price. I went into diabetic ketoacidosis and had to go to the ER to get treated with enough insulin to survive. People like me have had to sacrifice rent, education, retirement funds, doctor's appointments, having children, and more.
These stories are real and are happening across the USA every day. This should not be the horrific reality, but it is. The good news is, patients are speaking out about these issues all around the world and fighting for more affordable insulin. In the USA, where prices have skyrocketed especially, T1 International chapters are being formed where patient advocates are educating and pushing for policy change.
We know the realities, the struggles, and the consequences of life with diabetes, and we have the power to use our voices to make things right.
Whatever you do, wherever you are, don't stay silent.
Join T1 International and the Insulin for All movement. You can learn more about chapters and find more information related to the insulin price crisis at t1international.com/USA.